Sit up here. Sit up here.
Now it was a one-sided fight. Man and machine against the wooden shell of a 20-year-old bungalow.
Excellent.
As the roof and walls shattered, reporters and neighbors became witness to what sheriff's investigators have been probing since a few days before Christmas. The stark frame covering to a mass grave. If you look closely, you'll see fluorescent orange markings on the cement walls that surround the crawl space, now open to the rain. Each marking indicates the spot where a body was disinterred.
Bulldozers have finished clearing what was once the crawl space of the home, but ironically, one boy whose body was not found on the Gacy property led to the investigation. Young Robert Pease.
You're fucking dead. You're fucking dead!
We didn't even have the body yet. Robert Pease's body was still missing. Even though we thought it was in the river, it was frozen over.
Here we go, dude. We gotta catch Trevor.
The undercurrent was so tough, there was ice all over the place.
Sorry, honey, I'm taking...
There was nothing to tell us
Turismo.
where to look in the river. Whether it was near the bridge still, or whether it was all the way to the Mississippi. There was nothing we could do but wait until somebody found a body.
There were, in total, 29 bodies which came out of that house. And 3 more were pulled from the river. But 4 months after his disappearance, Rob Pease was still unaccounted for. Then another body was found, downriver from the I-55 bridge.
The body of the 33rd suspected victim, John Wayne Gacy, was taken to the Cook County morgue.
From what I heard, it was challenging to identify the body because of the lapse of time and the condition of him being in the water.
A team of dental experts from Cook and Will County have identified the male white body recovered from the Illinois River this afternoon as that
he went all the way down to the Illinois River.
15-year-old Robert Pease.
We had the last link, the 33rd body, but it was also terrible sorrow because I had become so close with the family that it was just heart-wrenching even to tell them that the body had been found.
Rob Pease's family was a very wonderful family, and I think everybody who worked on the story's heart goes out to them because of what they went through. But I think it was his brother who said, Rob wanted to do something big, and if his disappearance and the investigation of his disappearance led to stopping this madman from killing anyone else, Rob would have accomplished what he wanted.
We really feel that what happened
Careful what you wish for, I guess.
from the point that hopefully put an end to something, and now we're going to try to continue what he couldn't finish, and hopefully nothing will happen like this again.
I think I took it back to the courthouse and
no, take the car, none of
more
this.
determined that this guy was not about to get off scot-free. This family was on my list for whom I had to work for.
In his confession, Gacy admitted killing the young men after having sex with them, then burying most of the bodies under his house.
Gacy told authorities where these bodies were buried. Gacy told authorities exactly who, why, where he found them. A wealth of information. In fact, most of the information, since the victims couldn't speak for themselves, and their families really didn't know, for the most part, anything about John Wayne Gacy. We had to find out from Gacy himself.
There you go.
And it was Gacy's conversation, confessions to law enforcement authorities that enabled us to find out exactly
Who's that?
Though it was also very difficult to know when to believe anything John Gacy said.
I think one of the headlines said that was a homosexual mass murder, confessed mass murder. There is no confession, and we offered, I offered as much as $10,000 if you can produce a confession where I confess to a crime. The time that I was interrogated by the police officers, there was no stenographer, there was no tape recording, there was no videotaping. Nothing was ever taken down, yet everywhere you'll see there's 5 confessions by John Wayne Gacy. Now, if I confessed to something, then why wasn't it videotaped? Why wasn't it recorded? Why wasn't a stenographer brought in, had it written up, and had me sign it? There is no confessions in this case.
First of all, it doesn't have to be recorded. It's nice if they allow it, he wouldn't allow it. It's even nicer if they allow it to be printed and then sign it. He wouldn't do that either. So what you have is a pure oral statement, witnessed by a number of police officers, having written numerous and lengthy police reports with word-for-word documentation of what he said.
Gacy confessed at least 3 times, you know, so every time it was something different. He just kept trying to muddy the water.
Gacy's confessions were a result of various meetings, and Gacy's story about what happened would change. He was like a chameleon. He would say one thing and then color would change. He would say something else at another meeting.
You have to know my brother as my brother and not the criminal to understand that he was like 2 different people. What sane person goes out and does something like this and then talks about it and confesses to it, then says he didn't confess to it? There are no clear answers to anything about this case. It's totally mind-boggling. It'd be kind of like a Rubik's Cube, and you're trying to get all the numbers together, and one just doesn't want to go, and that's how this is.
Look at that.
Some
Look
of
at
it
that.
just
It's
doesn't make
beautiful,
any sense at all. I don't think it was something he was born with. I think something happened to him to have done it. But I just can't figure out how he could be so smart and intelligent and then so evil.
Just go for headshots. I need 20 headshots.
The judge did rule today that Gacy confessed voluntarily and that displaying police had sufficient reason to arrest him when they picked him up.
Both sides agreed that there could be mountains of paperwork before the trial began.
Well, it was a huge case for the Cook County District Attorney. We had the largest mass murder in the history of the United States, and there was no doubt that the orders were going to be that the death penalty should be sought.
Sam Amaretti, Gacy's attorney, who took Gacy on right after entering private practice, he was a political animal, and the publicity wasn't going to hurt his beginning practice.
It's a tragic day in the American criminal justice system and the American system of justice, period. When a man cannot be brought into court to face his charges because of publicity or security reasons or any reason whatsoever.
He was going to find anything that could try and interfere with the case or anything that was beneficial to his client.
Oh, and how was that, huh? With Brad in the can and me in the ground, or both of us in the car? Brad got shot. You saw.
Some people would say, you got 33 bodies, there's no way you can lose it, is there?
That's it.
And there were others that made me think, not twice, but 100,000 times, about how we could lose it.
Mikey, I mourned you, and I missed you.
The state's attorney asked me to handle the case.
We were all gonna die.
Very early on, we have to start thinking about an insanity defense. The evening that Gacy was under arrest, he made his oral statements of his lawyer.
Extended clip, gold gun.
He had already made one statement without the lawyers being present. They, of course, haul him off and talk to him. So now he makes a series of statements with his attorneys present.
We got into the peace discussion. This time, then he told us that he took the body, slept with the body overnight. And we asked if he had sex with him. He says, no, I didn't, but Jack might have.
While Gacy was drawing his diagram, I kept asking questions, and I was writing down everything he was saying. And when he was finished, he kind of looked at it and said, Jack drew this.
I said, who's Jack? He said, Jack Henley.
Headshots.
Starts talking about the killer being Jack Hanley. And he would talk about Jack Hanley killing these kids.
He's trying to inject a multiple personality
So, who are
disorder
your pals, Trevor?
into his insanity defense. Manipulating, cutting, what he always does.
During one of the search warrants that I wrote, a book was found in Gacy's attic. It was a book on criminal law and procedure. And I was told that the chapter on insanity defenses was bookmarked. So it dawned on me later I was probably being exploited so he could get in his evidence he was perhaps schizophrenic or had some mental disease or defect. And what better way to put an insanity defense out there than by making a statement and having some kid like me write every word that he was saying down, and then I'm
7.
You're way off, assholes! Hey, can't we do this where the weather's better?
Innocent or guilt anymore. What they're trying to do is your whole trial now becomes an insanity trial where you're to decide whether a person is sane or insane.
That's bullshit.
Phillips with that away! Don't die for your lover! Hey, go fuck yourself! We got you, you idiot! Fuck off, you confused pieces of shit! He's getting away! You are going nowhere, mister! You're making a mistake! We could have teamed up!
And 11.
Fuck off!
You plead not guilty by reason of insanity. You're saying that you committed the crime, but that you were insane at the time. So it's not a question of innocent or guilt anymore. What they're trying to do is your whole trial now becomes an insanity trial where you're to decide whether a person is sane or insane.
If somebody killed 33 people and buried 29 of them under his house, you have to be crazy. So that was a given going in. And our job is going to be to show them the difference between crazy and legally responsible.
13.
When you're preparing for a case like this, and they're early in the morning, and it's pretty dark by the time you leave, no matter what season it is. But you can look outside and the seasons are passing, but you've lost all track of what season it is, or whether you could be going to a baseball game, or whether you should be skiing, or anything like that. It's a time warp.
John Wayne Gacy went on trial today in Chicago, charged with the sex murders of 33 young men and boys.
Some relatives of the 22 identified victims were in court for the opening statement.
My mom and my dad and I, all three of us went. And my mother would go on the news as often as she could to prove that these kids were innocent, young kids that didn't deserve to die.
He can kill all those children. He should be dead too. The children's life didn't mean anything to him. It doesn't mean anything to the society. And that's just how I feel for everybody.
She believed that she had to be there to stand up for my brother, because there were a lot of parents that didn't come, but there were a small group. We came every day.
At the time of the trial, I was working at a bank, and back in those days, banks were closed on Wednesdays. And so every Wednesday, I was at the trial. It was very emotional, people sobbing. Most of them were parents. And here they're sitting there listening to testimony on how their child got killed. You know, it's nothing anybody wants to hear.
One witness fainted on the stand when the prosecution team showed her a bracelet belonging to her son.
You have 2 years to prepare for this, but I had no clue that we had to go on the stand and identify Gacy. That was very eerie to me. And my dad, the day that he had to get up on the stand, my father kept crying. My mother kept saying, you know, buck up, you can do this. And that was the first or the second day. My dad never went again after that.
Early on, we were using this big exhibit with three-sided frames, put all the life and death photos in while the
Trevor Phillips
parents
Industries.
or whatever were
Mr. Phillips, this
and
is Wei
after we
Chang.
did 5 or 6
You know
of them,
my
we
eldest
thought,
son, Tao.
Yeah, the
And he
ex-nut.
said,
Backed out of a
"All
contract
right,
we
here's the
agreed
rule.
on.
State,
How is he?
Still learning
if
the
you're
ropes.
talking about
Thank
a
you.
particular
But
you want to use that
I was
board,
hoping
you
we
can have
could
that
talk.
victim's photo in the board.
Was that
But
your
none other.
people?
When you get the closing argument,
Saw you
you can
had
do
to
whatever
cut
you
out.
want.
your operation causes problem for me.
So
I want to
when we
expand
finished,
into Blaine County, but
we
your
now have a
business
board
and your
that's 22
temperament
open frames.
prevent
It
me
looks to me
from
like 22
making
open frames.
inroads.
Oh, wow, too bad.
There were
I don't know
some
what you
victims
can
who were
do
still
about
not
that.
identified.
I've already done
We
something.
went to trial on
We
all
have your
33
lover.
murders, 22 being
Lover?
identified
Michael
at the
DeSanta.
time.
You
that we
live
went to
in your
trial.
trailer
Some of
together
their names.
with the maid, and then you were alone in
We
that
also
big
had the crawl
house.
space opening
Well, you're
sought
clearly
out
very
so we
close.
could use it as an
You
exhibit
know,
in
how
court.
much will you give up
Became one
for
of my
his safety?
biggest tools, having that crawl space opening available as an exhibit.
Yeah, right. That's a tough break.
John
Never
Gacy
want to
sat
double
erected in
cross
his chair
a
today,
friend
showing
and
no
put him in
apparent emotion as
danger,
the
but
prosecution
gotta
team
do what you
continued
gotta
to call
do.
parents of the
The
alleged
business ain't
They were
going
naming
anywhere.
I'm
all
serious
the
about
victims.
this.
Their pictures were
He
there,
will die.
Tell him
and they were going
I
through
love 'em
and
dearly.
putting a name to a face for the jury. And when they got to my brother, Gacy just kind of smirked and chuckled. You know, it's like he was silent the whole time, but with my brother, he laughed.
It was very difficult to look at him, but I remember seeing him sitting over there, and I kept thinking, boy, you really fooled so many people. I think he thought he would never be caught.
Police told the court Gacy became friendly with the police surveillance team and trailed him as part of the investigation into the disappearance of 15-year-old Robert Pease.
Good night.